Welcome to the Bloomfield College Beat with JB. I'm your host, Janelle Blake. Today, I'll be showcasing some events at Bloomfield College that are for the celebration of Bloomfield College's 150-year celebration. Up first, you'll experience a tribute to the arts. Dancer Kyle Marshall and Bloomfield College students come together for Dance Your Story. This event gave students a unique way to express themselves.
I really wanted to do something where they could express, perform, show off that talent.
Following this, we'll be learning more about Kyle Marshall, what drives him to dance, and his opinion on this first-time event. Finally, we'll look into the second Writing from the Margins event and the effect of African-American creators.
We find that students in general are very excited to make connections between what they learn in the classroom and what's going on in the wider world.
Those stories coming up on the first Bloomfield College Beat with JB. Dance Your Story is a first-time event in Bloomfield College, and it didn't matter if you had 2 left feet or were an accomplished dancer. Organizers of this event wanted you to get up and get involved.
I'm excited to see our students. I'm excited to see how their interaction with Kyle Marshall and their interpretation. He comes out and dance. I think this is really exciting.
Bloomfield College is celebrating 150 years of existence with a long lineup of events, including one that's unique and a tribute to the arts. Dancer Kyle Marshall visited Bloomfield College on February 9th for a workshop called Dance Your Story. Thanks to his expertise, students were able to learn how to express themselves using movement.
I would love to do it again. I wasn't expecting it to be so interesting, and I will do it again.
The one who arranged this event is BC professor Dr. Fiona Harris Ramsey.
I was just amazed at the talent of, Bloomfield College students, and that I really wanted to do something where they could express, perform, show off that talent.
Although this event was created with students in mind, they weren't the only ones dancing. The audience was given a chance in the spotlight.
I thought it was lovely. I thought it was very, very honest. Like everyone was very honest with themselves and their movements, and I thought it went very, very well.
I've never done anything like this before, and so I think that this could be start of something new.
The students say that they greatly enjoyed the event and will love to do it again. Hopefully the college will be up for a Dance Your Story Part 2 next year. And now it's time for our first question of the day. Since we're talking about dancing, the question will be, what is your favorite dance style?
My favorite is ballet, especially pointe. I love pointe, and contemporary. I like contemporary more. Yeah.
Open, breathe, hot out, summertime, beach, relaxing, everything's so loose and easy. Yeah, great.
Welcome back to the Bloomfield College Beat with JB. In our last segment, we saw how students got the chance to tell their story through dance. The guy who made the workshop happen is choreographer Kyle Marshall, and he has a unique story on what inspires his art.
Amazing. And I have never seen anybody dance like Kyle dances. I was just sort of in awe.
Kyle Marshall is a dancer and choreographer. He started when he was 5, dancing in his living room before his mother put him in classes.
So I started taking class when I was pretty young, ballet, tap, jazz. And then towards like high school, college, I got a lot more serious.
Kyle currently dances with the Doug Elkins Choreography and the Trisha Brown Dance Company. In 2014, he organized Kyle Marshall Choreography. Since then, he has received residencies and commissions and continues to perform throughout the New Jersey, New York area.
It's overwhelming. Sometimes I'm not very present-minded, so I think a lot about the future. So I'm not always grateful. I have to remember to be more grateful because things are growing and changing.
Dr. Ramsey first met Kyle Marshall a year ago when she and Professor Nishizawa went to peak performance at Montclair State. Kyle was dancing with Doug Elkins Choreography in a performance called Moortown Redux. The dancers performed a revision of William Shakespeare's play Othello. Kyle played the role of Othello, the main character.
He just blew me away, and he was so nice, and I said, God, I would love to bring you to Bloomfield College. And he goes, great.
And it was clear that Kyle enjoyed leading Dancer's story, especially when he was talking about his students.
Improvising and can be kind of a vulnerable place, and so I think they really trusted each other and trusted me, and we went really far in trying new ideas. And so I think in leaving this, just to have the confidence to try new things, to have the confidence to dive deep into something and not care what it looks like or what it feels like, I think that that's something that they can lead with. Confidence, courage, playfulness, curiosity. I think those things are important to me.
You can go on kmchoreography.com to learn more about the company, and you can join the mailing list to receive email updates from Kyle Marshall. You can also follow the company on Facebook, Instagram, and Vimeo. Kyle says he wouldn't mind leading another event like this. Now let's cross our fingers and hope he does. And now for our second question of the day. This one leading to our next story. Who is your favorite writer, playwright, or film director? And what did they produce that still inspires you today?
Miss on Your Interest is amazing, She gives us insight that we don't think about, that we don't consider. And just her energy was super, super awesome. I think everyone had a great experience. I cried multiple times, so that's how you know I enjoyed it wholeheartedly.
Let her be. She got a right to be different. She's gonna stumble on herself one of these days. Just let the child be, and I be, Mama.
Welcome back. Another event that happened in celebration of Bloomfield College's 150-year anniversary is Writing from the Margins, an event open to everyone so they can learn from distinguished writers. In celebration of National Poetry Month in April, Bloomfield College Humanities Division is hosting its second annual Writing from the Margins event on March 22nd to 23rd.
The goal of Writing from the Margins is to center the voices of marginalized writers. So like people of color, LGBTQ people, anybody who's more so been on the margins of society.
BC professors John Terry Gatson and Ada McKenzie, two of the people who made this event happen, believe that this event would be good for high school students, college students, and the general public, called lifelong learners alike. This event is open to anyone with an interest for literature.
We find that students in general are very excited to make connections between what they learn in the classroom and what's going on in the wider world.
Students get an opportunity to study with other writers besides the writing professors we have here at Bloomfield. Since it is a small college, we don't have the opportunity to have students take classes with a whole bunch of different professors. So this is really a good time for students to be able to work with other people.
Professor Gatson herself is an accomplished author. She is the author of Interruptions, Pepper Girl, and the full-length poetry collection, Blues Triumphant. She also writes for an all-female comedy panel show and was selected for the NBC Late Night Writers Workshop. As someone knee-deep in the business, she knows firsthand how African-American writers often get treated.
Yeah, I found as a Black writer and a Black poet that sometimes people will try to invalidate the experiences, my experiences, as if they don't qualify as something that should be written about, or that it's more of a gimmick to write about your experience, to write out of the Black experience or the experience that I've had. I think that people end up being jealous sometimes when Black poets become popular because we're telling our own stories, and maybe people haven't had the experiences we have and can't tell those same stories and aren't getting the same attention at that time, so they just try to discredit.
With the event coming closer, there's only one thing that Professor Gadsden worries about.
Sometimes it can be hard at a smaller school where a lot of students are commuters to get student participation, so I really hope that people recognize the opportunity that they have here to work with these writers and network and produce something and really make something out of their Bloomfield College experience through this event.
For this year's Writing from the Margins event, the keynote speaker will be Sonia Sanchez, and writers such as Roberto Carlos Garcia, Jane Wong, and Kyla Marshall will be holding workshops. This event will be free and open for all college students, high school students, and the general public. This year, the Writing from the Margins event has brought in a lot of attention. Perhaps it will outdo itself next time. That's all we have for today's show. I'll see you next time, and remember, always come to JB for the Bloomfield College Beat.